say? Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to come on in. Yeah, I mean. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Peoples. Oh, murder. Remember last week when I said I was hot? Can y'all see the moisture on my face? But let me tell you about that moisture on my face. And why I'm not even going, y'all hear I got the sniffles of just a little bit. That moisture on my face is my own fault. That moisture on my face is because, damn, I didn't even put the title on Facebook. I didn't put that moisture on my face. That moisture on my face. I ain't do nothing right. I ain't do nothing right. I didn't title YouTube. I put the title, but I didn't go back and put it on Facebook. I ain't put no title on Facebook. Ain't no Sylvie 414 nowhere tonight. Facebook don't know what we talking about at all. Y'all see that moisture on my face? Welcome, welcome, welcome. My own fault. That's all I'm talking about. Y'all. This thing is daily. So if you was following me on YouTube, good evening. You will see that the title is the persona, Let's Talk Heal, then Coach. But I did not title Facebook. Good evening, and welcome. But this heat, this moisture, you see that moisture on my forehead? And moisture on my cheeks is, look, I was going to highlight my face and everything today. I just said, Lord, you know what I was going through all day long. You know my flesh. Now, I do believe that the Most High has given me some opportunities to just relax, release, and maybe miss a Monday from time to time in everything that's been going on. If I wouldn't have came on tonight, that wouldn't have been one of those times. If I wouldn't have came on tonight, that would have been totally my flesh. Totally my flesh. We talked about totally last week. I just got finished uploading, like going in and editing, talking about totally from last week. I just got finished uploading some of those videos talking about totally. Totally is not where you want to be. But if I would not have come live tonight, I would have been all the way over there in totally, because that would have been all the way my flesh. Like when I say I had to get in my space and just get me some meditation in, not for the fact that I am learning to meditate regularly, but because my day wanted to be that much of a challenge. And in order for me not to allow my day to take me, because they my buttons, they still my buttons. Welcome. They my buttons. So in order for me not to allow my day to take me, oh yeah, girl, you better sit your ass down somewhere. Put on some solfeggio music right quick. And and then pray. Because I was not coming. And that, my dear hearts, was going to be a beating for me, because I know how the Most High deal with me when I get to doing things that I want to do because I want to do them. So yes, welcome, you guys. Thank y'all for coming and checking me out for a split second. This is Sylvie 414, and I am Sylvie, your rough edge lady. Just a little bit rough around them edges. Them edges might not ever be smooth, but the Most High is smoothing out what it needs to smooth out as I go on a daily basis. So with that being said, I'm all right with being the rough-edged lady. It is what it is. So tonight, y'all know how I do. Even if I meditate before I come up here, I just need 2 minutes, because even in the midst of doing these lives, what I have learned is, first and foremost, it's not always easy to be obedient when self wants to take course. Also, some people just rule for no reason. So in order to prepare myself for all of this, because even though I've been doing this for quite some time. I'm not saying that I'm doing this on a large scale. I am watching my platforms grow. I am watching, oh my damn. This all a part of my day, y'all. Oh, Lord, Jesus. It's all hot. I'm all hot now. Look, my setup, my YouTube setup just tried to come down, y'all. It just tried to come all tumbling down. And with that being said, hold up. Look, I'm getting hotter. I need to meditate. Get over there for a minute. I need to meditate. My day has been good, y'all. It has been good, but it has been challenging. And it is continued, y'all see, because the sweat is coming through. When I get frustrated, I sweat. Like, I'm clean. I done bathe. But this still new to me, y'all, which means that some of my stuff is bootleg. And my setup has never fallen. My bootleg setup has never fallen. That's why I know that it is my day trying to get to me, not wanting me to complete the task that has set before me. So I thank y'all for being patient with me. I'm just trying to get this joker to sit upright and not fall. We don't want no problem. Okay, I'm gonna get myself back together and get some of this sweat off my face and oils up back. Give me 2 minutes, y'all. After 2 minutes, I ain't gonna be sweating no more. Oh, Lord. What Tasha K say today? I'm live. Ask me anything. Y'all know I'm live. I got stuff falling all down around me and all kinds of things breaking out in the damn sweats. OMG. 2 minutes. Where my clock at so I can calculate my 2 minutes. Oh, Lord. I can't do nothing but. All right. Two minutes, y'all. Like, I'm literally sweating at this point. I feel the sweat. I'm about to show y'all. Sweating bullets. Because I have allowed myself to be frustrated. But give me 2 minutes. Dang. Dang. Goodness gracious. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. Goodness gracious. 2 minutes go by fast, y'all. OMG, OMG. I hope everybody has had a magnificent day. I have had a good day, regardless of what it may seem like, because I'm sitting up this joker just, the sweat comes from procrastination, y'all. The sweat comes from procrastination. Look, like I said, I titled this on YouTube and I was supposed to be titling it on Facebook as well, but that's a part of the sweat. That's a part of the reason that I was sweating and all the procrastination and all that stuff like that. Because I waited good until the last minute to get up and start getting ready. I try and be as transparent as I possibly can be on this joker. I don't never come up this joker and tell anybody that I am all the way healed, because that would be a lie that I am telling to myself, not y'all. That's a lie I'm telling to myself. But I will come up this joker and tell y'all every day that I work at it every day. I will come up this joker every Monday and tell y'all that meditation is crucial. If you don't do it, you should. If you're struggling to do it, keep struggling through. It is something in it. That big ball of sweat is not there anymore. I'm still a little moist. But that big ball of sweat that was sitting right there, yeah, it's not there anymore. Like when I say, and my day was okay. Like right up until, it was good. Like right up until probably like 3 hours ago. And that's when stuff started trying to challenge me. But the challenges will come when there is something that you are supposed to be doing that the enemy might not want you to do. I don't believe as spiritual as the Most High in as spiritual of a direction as I believe that the Most High has taken me. I don't believe that there will ever be a point that I will say, because if you listen to the most occult of the spiritual realm, they're gonna say there's no enemy. There's no enemy. It's the inner you. It's the enemy, and most of it is. Except that two things can be true at one time. Everything that happens is not of your own doing. There are some things that are outward that happen that I will consider the enemy. Now, for the most part, if you are that person that is, they made me do it and they made me do it and she made me cuss her out and she made me get an attitude with her and he made me whoop his and you have some checking for yourself to do. But once you begin to learn that your buttons are your own and you have to take responsibility for your own actions, and you have to evaluate yourself with each day that goes by, with each minute, then you learn, then you grow. And that's where I'm at with this thing. Walking daily to look at yesterday and to be better today, period. I ain't trying to do it for no people at this point. At this point, where I am with people is I walk my walk just like you walk your walk. So if you want me to walk my walk faster than you or in accordance to how you feel like I should walk my walk, I probably won't have you in my space, because we need to know enough about each other and respect each other enough to understand that we're both walking the walk. And while you may not like everything I do, ditto. But if we are in any type of a relationship, if we are parent-child, if we are friends, if we are romantically involved, you have to understand that I have a process as well as you. And I have to understand that as well. And we have to understand that in order for us to maneuver and to grow and for a relationship to strengthen, that we have to give one another room to be who we are, or we just have to decide that YouTube don't want to do right. I don't. This setup is not secure. It just keeps. Oh, I know why. Hold up, y'all. Look, I got all kinds of things. Just attempting to challenge, not to. It's some slippery things. Like I have. I need that to be gone. I need that to be gone. That's getting in the way. I love y'all. Because y'all is chilling with me, watching me do all this crazy shit. And all I'm trying to do is make my damn laptop not fall while I'm trying to stay live on both platforms. Shit. Okay, let me see. Because it's about to make me sweat all over again. Y'all done did good with the damn sweat. And now this daggone YouTube damn laptop don't want to sit where it's supposed to sit. Frustrating my whole damn life. Let's see if I just watched that Joker just sliding. If I got to go through this Joker in sweat, it is what it is. Because we going to finish this bitch tonight. We going to finish tonight. Okay, y'all. And I ain't even going to be before y'all a long time because I don't have a lot of content. We're going to talk about the persona in accordance with narcissism. Because as I've been stating, the persona in and of itself is not a bad thing. We all have a persona. When Carl Jung introduced the persona, it was for the purposes of actors. I said last week, Jay-Z got a song where he talks about putting on his persona so he can go out there and handle his business. But the persona is not supposed to be who you are. Once you encompass that persona to the point where you think that that's who you are in fear of more dangerous things than that. That's why I said last week, we're going to talk about the stages. We're going to start talking about the stages of persona. There's 2 stages to persona. One is identification, and the other one is disintegration. And when I thought about disintegration, I didn't think about, I watched soap operas for years. And I said that to say that Vicky Buchanan had to be disintegrated. She had DID. When I went in to do the study on the 2 stages of persona, the identification is the fact that you are supposed to understand that you have a persona, and you are supposed to understand that once you get into your personal space, you're supposed to take off that mask. The persona is a mask, baby. You're supposed to take it off. Why? Because when you look in the mirror, the mirror does not see the persona. When you look in the mirror just see you. You see the persona when you look in the mirror, but the mirror see you. You get me? You feel me? So if you're looking in the mirror and you're seeing the persona and the mirror seeing you, that might make you just a little bit delusional. Once you begin to be delusional, and I ain't playing, this is what the article said. And I'm believing that is why the Most High put that daggone on. I can't even think of the name of it right now. But the book. The social service book. The book of mental illness. I can't think of the name of it right now. But I was blessed with that book. And I have never been to get not one master's, bachelor's, or anything like that in psychology. I have taken some psychology classes and everything like that. But when that article started talking about DID, I said, okay, Lord, all I've been saying since I had the book, I've had the book for 2 years at this point. All I've been saying, show me how to use it, when to use it. I think it's about time that I'm going to be cracking open the book, because the article went into DID. The article went into DID. If you are not willing to take a look and understand that this persona is not meant to be who you are, it's just a part of you, then you run the risk of more serious things going on. DID is split personality. By the time One Life to Live was over, Vicky probably had 30. And that's not a stretch. People can have that many personalities living inside of them because they've suppressed so many things. One article I was reading went on to speak about, like, and I'm gonna read the little bit that I got from that article, but it's basically like, oh no, that wasn't even the persona, that was the solar plexus, and that's how this stuff be. It's how it be tying in. The solar plexus is the chakra that I am, or the chakra as they pronounce it, but I'm a country girl. The solar plexus is the chakra that I am working on right now. And that is the chakra that deals with self-government, self-confidence, self-motivation, self. It's all self. It's all going in and working self. And when I tell you, I have been feeling this. And the color is associated with yellow. And I have been in yellow more than a little bit, not even recognizing it. I was in yellow the other night and somebody was like, oh, that yellow look good on you. When I think I took some pictures and posted it on Facebook. Somebody was like, oh, that yellow look good. I ain't even thought about it. I'm in my solar plexus color. Because when I tell you that I am feeling everything that I am studying as far as that solar plexus, can't tell this gal nothing. And I promise you, buddy, the Most High made sure this is not conceit no more. Been there, done that. The Most High put them pounds back on me with the quickness. Took me straight on back up to almost 300. You're not ready not to have no weight on you. You don't know what to do with yourself. I know what to do with myself this time. And while I might still have some work to do on my figure, y'all also understand that I ain't even scared to show that joke at this point. Me and all my curves, because they what? Mad. They mad. And in self-analyzation, you are learning to love yourself. Good, bad, and indifferent. That goes so much against that 3-month conversation I had on YouTube with those mostly all the way over here and totally probably in the inner world of totally who felt like Lizzo just need to go inside and sit down because she big, and the United States had a epidemic with overweight and obesity probably before Lizzo was born. So now she's supposed to take on the obesity epidemic and just go in her house and sit down. And look, I come from both sides on that. Because I'm the one that will also say, baby, if you is going to be out there, if you is confident enough to be out there with little to no clothes on twerking, then you shouldn't be online talking about they need to stop talking about me. When you become a public figure, you are just that. When you are on, it don't even matter if you're a celebrity. Do y'all understand how many times I've been on social media and people be like, why you commenting on my posts? My daughter used to say that. I ain't posted to get no comments. Well, you posted it on social media, and social media is public. So when you're in public, people have the right to speak on what you say, do, or how you act. Whether you're out in public or whether you're on public social media or whether you're displaying yourself that way. So 2 things can be true at one time. Welcome, 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 you guys. Thank y'all for sitting with me for a split. Lizzo can go out there and because the girl talented. You can't take it away from her. It is not even probably little chicks out there that can do the things she do when she be out there on that stage. And then you be fluting at that too. You be twerking and the fluting. I want to twerk. I'm still trying to learn how to twerk. I can't twerk or flute. All the fluting I did at Brogden Elementary in the 4th grade. That's all the fluting I had. I'm not the instrument person. That would be my baby. But yes, The whole goal of self-analyzation, the whole goal of understanding persona is to do that thing in a healthy way. In a healthy way. So I just want to read something really quickly. Then we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about Coach Stormy. Go sit down the hill. Coach Stormy, girl, you need to go sit down the hill. We're going to talk about T.I. and Lil Boosie with y'all badass. Y'all so bad. Y'all so bad. Y'all is running around like chickens with y'all heads cut off, trying to be bullies. Trying to be bullies. And we're going to talk about how I watched 2 podcasts that spoke about narcissism, which is bad persona, and the fact that most people that are that way, most narcissistic people, can dish it, but they can't take it. Whoa, that is the greatest sign of a narcissist. They be ready to tell you something good. But oh my goodness, don't get ready to tell them something back. Woe to you if you get to trying to tell the narcissist something back. Bad part. So, first, I'm going to read the Bible verses that I had that were associated with this. And these are old verses. I got Proverbs 10 and 15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. Welcome, 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 you guys. Then I have First Maccabees. I don't know if y'all know about the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha are 13 books that were removed from the Bible. So over here on Sylvie 414, where the Most High has told me to speak the truth, we don't just say that if it ain't in the Bible, it's not true. Because we know that everything in the Bible is not true. And there are scriptures, sacred scriptures outside of the Bible that are true. So with that being said, First Maccabees 2 and 19, 2 and 20, and then 2 and 40. So 19 says, Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice. Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away, everyone from the religion of their father. So the king came in and the king, listen, because something like this happened about 400 years ago. The king came in and everybody started having to follow the king's religion. You feel me? And their father's religion, and give consent to his commandments. Yet, verse 20 said, Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our father. So 400 years ago or so, there was a trip that people did not want to take. And after that trip was taken, that people did not want to take, everything that happened prior to that trip got deemed as wrong. It sounds a little bit like those verses in First Maccabees. It really do. To me, I don't know about to y'all, but to me, it sounds a little bit like them verses in First Maccabees. Now, I spent a little time in a homeless shelter about 2 years ago. So when I was in that homeless shelter that the Most High had said to me probably 3 years before I got there, you're going to experience this. This is how the Most High deal with me. This is how the Most High love me. You're going to experience this. Made me aware that I was going to be there 3 years later. They didn't tell me 3 years later you'll be here. But 3 years prior, I had an encounter that made me know that I would be in that homeless shelter eventually. There was work I had to do in that shelter. There were people I had to encounter in that shelter. I couldn't encounter those people anywhere else. I just said that about my church. I just spoke with one of my church members that I love dearly. I said, Deborah, I couldn't have met you at any other church. I could only have met you at Ivy. I couldn't have met you at any other church. God has me telling people to return home If it's a church you left because you was in your emotions, and the Most High ain't tell you to leave that church. God said, return home. When I said, I just told my daughter, I don't believe I returned home for a religious purpose, because God has taken me beyond religion into relationship. But God still sent me back to that church that I had been at for 10 years, that God pulled me out of prior to the pandemic. I was supposed to be gone a year before the pandemic even started. I am gotta push me off the ledge, baby. And that's how the Most High deals with me. Gotta push me off the ledge, because if you don't push me off the ledge, I might not go. Had to push me off the ledge to go back too. I was supposed to be back 7 months ago. I just been back for about 3. I was supposed to be, at this point, it was probably closer to a year that I should have been back. Just been back about 3. But I said that to say God is calling us to an order. I've been saying on this platform, the first shall be last, the last shall be first. If the last are going to be first, there is an order that the Most High wants to do things in, and it's not according to our order or our emotions. God is calling us out of such emotional places. I'm hearing it on all kinds of platforms at this point, but God been speaking this jank to me. And I said to the Most High that I would not continue to be late, because guess what? I was supposed to tell y'all to start planting your food prior to the pandemic. When I say God gave me numbers that said garden and farm out of Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, I'm not even talking about when I started to go and look up numbers as angel numbers. I'm talking about Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. That's biblical. He was sending me numbers that was saying plant your food and start your farms prior to the pandemic. And because I didn't know what was going on, I didn't move accordingly. I ain't saying I'm your Jeremiah or nothing. All I'm saying is you better go check on it with the Most High. If anything I say on this platform need to resonate. That's all. That's all. That's all. I ain't trying to tell nobody. One thing for sure and 2 things for certain. I am not going to coach Stormy you in this piece and be telling you I'm trying to. We going to break generational curses by getting rich. That's why we're going to talk about Coach Stormy. Okay. Verse 40. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathens, they will now quickly root us out of the earth. I done heard Willie D at this point. Now, I'm going to skip straight on to the meat of things, because this platform, for real, while this platform is about reaching the highest God powers in your mind and your best and your greatest self, my vision. Oh, let me go get that. I can't. It's on that phone. But basically, it's to be aware. The shortness of it. This is not me quoting my vision verbatim, but to become aware of ecclesiastical, societal, and political oppression by way of self-awareness, awareness of your family, and then awareness of the outer world. You got to be aware of yourself first. You have to be aware of yourself before you can be aware of your family. I said that to say Willie D is talking about now they're coming for our children. Willie D won't talk about that. Willie D was not talking about that. Gender switch day at a high school. And this is no disrespect to anyone. No disrespect. But I want you to think on these things. Because I've spoken about what people are calling an agenda. There are men out there that just believe that the LGBTQ, just like you, because that argument for 3 months was not only about Lizzo, it was about Saucy Santana as well. And all I said is y'all need to stop watching BET. You cannot tell someone they can't live their life. You can't tell someone they can't live their life. You can't want someone to go in the house because you don't like the life that they live. But what I can say is on the end of that LGBTQ. Somebody, I call somebody they, all caps they coming from the societal, the ecclesiastical, and the political. Somebody wants to put another letter up there. A letter that's going to say, I don't feel like an adult. I feel more like a child. Therefore, I feel like I can lay with this child. If you go look up the word that is supposed to mean homosexuality in Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, welcome, welcome, welcome. That word first means man, which is an adult, laying with male, which is just the male species. So if man lays with male, that means the male can be any age, because the male is just the male species. That's where the agenda lies for me. When Willie D start talking about they coming for our children, we have to be aware. We have to be aware. Not just that. I just put out the video because they done caught up some people trying to put fentanyl in the candy. Fentanyl in the candy. And when I made my video, I made sure to tell the church folk, y'all better watch y'all Halloween celebrations too, because I don't care what you call it. I don't care what you call it. When you go out there and you buy that candy from that store, the fentanyl going to the stores. They're not going to the people's houses because y'all feel like it's safer because it's in the church or it's in the trunk of your car outside of the church. No, y'all buy that candy from the same place them folks in their houses buy that candy from. So if fentanyl is getting the candy, because they caught them don't mean they caught everybody that were doing it. But if we're not willing to self-analyze, we're not even going to be aware of what could possibly be going on with our children. And it can be deeper than that. I have known a situation where a baby was being abused. Mama won't nowhere near aware. Once mama became aware, mama began placing blame. But you weren't aware, and baby lived with you. Baby lived with you. When I talk about self-analyzation, yes, it is for our own sakes, because there is nothing better than being healed. Let's go ahead and jump to Coach Stormy, because I talked to my baby before. I mentioned Coach Stormy and her face just dropped. I mentioned Coach Stormy. Excuse me, y'all. I gotta wipe my nose a little bit. And my water is way over yonder. I'm gonna just have a dry throat. I ain't even gonna get up and get the water. But she said, I watched the video, and she was like, after the video I was done. I said, well, you know me. I said, I did Stormy the same way that I did Kevin Samuels. I said, I was not going to go off of one clip. I did everything in my power to go find some balance where Coach Stormy was concerned. The same way I did with Kevin Samuels. And with Kevin Samuels, I found balance. I came up here. I started coming live Monday night at 10 o'clock. Based on Kevin Samuels. I said, I got you, bro. I got your spot. I got you, bro. I got your spot. They kept saying, who's going to fill the spot? I said, Sylvie got it. Who's going to fill the 10 o'clock spot? Sylvie got it. Because a lot of what Kevin Samuels said, if you just take a look to self-analyze, you can see it. But if you act in your emotions, you just think that he just hated black women. Now, Coach Stormy, on the other hand, who says that her intent is to break generational curses. No, that's not your intent. If your intent was to break generational curses, then you would have been trying to legitimately heal Whatever it is going on with you and your daughter, when your daughter came out, because that when I watched that, it said her daughter came out to live where she lived, which means that you must not have had a relationship with your daughter prior to her coming out to live where you live, so that she can try to work on this relationship. But Coach Stormy just wanted to put her on the show, and then wound up kicking her out because she didn't fall in line, and nothing was going to get in the way of the bag, not even your relationship with your daughter. And that was when I started doing my own research. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when I first saw Tasha K speak on it, she was a little in favor of Coach Stormy. Now she just brought the video today and she getting ready to come. I really would love to get a subscription so that I can watch the receipts that she's going to bring about Coach Stormy on Friday. If I'm able, I might mess around and pay that $12.99 so that I can watch the rest of the receipts. But from what I have so far, you got a whole fiance who was engaged. I don't know if he was engaged or if that was his wife. But Coach Stormy's fiance, I know it was the mother of his child. I don't know if they were married or just engaged, though. But he swindled her out of everything and left her just broke as a joke. A woman that was bringing home $4 million a month. $4 million a month. And he scammed her, and Coach Stormy hid it so that they can keep making their bag. But see, people are on this thing where Black women are just supposed to be safe because they're Black women. Don't mess with her because she's a Black woman. We're going to talk about the LaTruths. I just don't have it quite right. But I knew that I wanted to go and research when I heard that man's sister come on and say, y'all are just protecting her because she's a Black woman and she just got to be right because she's a Black woman. See, this is not the platform that God sent y'all to. This is the platform that needs for every woman to take responsibility for her own actions. If you're doing wrong, I don't care if you're Black or white. That I said, Ime Udoka, that woman worked for the Celtics as well. That woman worked for the Celtics, and she should be, if he got suspended, she should be suspended. Why ain't she suspended? Because it was her husband that runs things, and he butt her. But that woman needs to be taking responsibility for the fact that you was flying his woman out every time that she came out. You the one that got it set up where when she moved out, and you was screwing her man. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. You're screwing her man. There's nothing right about that. Nothing right about that. And that wasn't no Black woman. She was just as unblack as she wanted to be. She was just as unblack as she wanted to be. See, that's what the Most High told me about this platform. Don't make it just about Black folk. Because I was. The Most High had to come and say, this is not just about Black people. And when I say that the Most High has showed and proved since I got that word that this is not just about Black people, that this is not just about Black people. So we already, that's what I said. That's what I was saying about the shelter. Because sometimes I go to a thought and I don't finish it, but I'm glad that the Most High will bring me back to it. When I was in that shelter and I spoke with, because it was a Christian-based shelter. It was a Christian-based shelter that was not run in a very loving manner. I will say that there were words used like, and I never said any of these words, but people said these words: cult, prison. Yeah, those are the words. And the crazy thing is, I stayed in the women's portion of the shelter. There was a men's shelter there too. And they gave the men more leeway than they gave the women. But that's how the Christian world runs. You want to put a muzzle on women. And you want the men to run around here like chickens with their heads cut off in the land of totally, which I call Kardashianville, because They don't want to check themselves. They don't want to be balanced. Like I speak on. That's why the Most High said, I have a large following. My following on YouTube is greater men than it is women. My following on Facebook, I do have a large following of men, but my following is greater women on Facebook. But while the Most High did have me to speak to women, he said the Most High also said, because I'm coming out of I'm learning to get rid of the pronouns for the Most High. Y'all are gonna hear me say he less and less, or you'll hear me say he, she, and it. I call she Umi, and that took some getting used to for me, just like calling God Daddy, because people didn't like that when I first started calling God Daddy. And when I started calling God Daddy, I stopped calling. It is what it is. When I started calling God Daddy, that name was secluded just for God. Nobody else could get used to that name anymore. Only for God. But when I spoke to one of the workers and said that those 13 books had been taken out of that Bible, that woman never came back. She was a white woman. She never came back. She said, I'm going to go home and research that. They tried to say that that woman never came back due to COVID. She had been there all through COVID. She had been there all through COVID. If y'all could have saw the look on that woman's face when I told that woman that 13 books, you can account for what won't supposed to be in there, because that's all I ever heard coming up. That wasn't even supposed to make it in there. That didn't make it in there, so it don't count. You're not supposed to read that. But you ain't never talk about them 13 books that y'all slid up out of that joker. Ain't nobody never said God told y'all to take 13 books out, but 13 whole books before the New Testament. Could that be why you have so many people saying that the New Testament is challenging for them? I'll say challenging, but that's not the word that people use, but challenging. Now, while you do have people stating that the Old Testament, there are lies all throughout it, but there are truths as well. And the Old Testament is where I was sent. Whereas if you think about it as a Christian community, most Christian communities do not preach from the Old Testament. They only preach and speak and teach from the New. And the ones that do not like the ones that only do. The ones that, because you have some that come only from the Old Testament. I think Seventh-day Adventists come only from the Old Testament. The ones that come only from the Old Testament is not feeling the ones that it's almost like state troopers and cops. Like, can we all just get along? And my what's his name? Y'all know who said that. Rodney somebody. That was a long time ago. My brain won't say Rodney Dangerfield, but I know that's not who it was. But when I told that woman about the Apocrypha, she left that shelter and never came back. That woman had been at that shelter she had been working for that shelter for years. They say she left that shelter and never came back when I told her they took them 13 books out of that Bible. So that's why studying to show yourself approved is the only way to go. If you are going to be in the Bible, you cannot just be going off of what you've learned all your life. You cannot just be going off of what the pastor teaches you on Sunday. Do y'all understand that in my studying, I came to the study of metaphysics out of the Bible? I got metaphysics out of the Bible. I didn't even know what metaphysics was. When I went and plugged that into Google, I just plugged in metaphysics. The very first thing that came up was witch store. Witch store. I'm like, what the hell? What? I just be studying. So anything that you feel about me, good, bad, and different, you better go holler at the Most High, because I just be studying. And I'm not going to be led by what someone tells me when I can go in and get it for myself. Now, I'm not saying can't nobody teach me or tell me nothing. That would be a lie that I told. That would be a lie that I told. But what I'm saying is, I just be studying. So I was reading an article on the persona. It says, have you ever experienced great confidence, autonomy, that's self-government, and inner drive in your life? This was likely when your solar plexus chakra was healthy, harmonious, and functioning at its optimal state. However, there are many habits, mindsets, and traumatic experiences in life that can cause your solar plexus chakra to become blocked, suppressed, or stagnant. If you have experienced a strict upbringing, bullying, I've been bullied, I experienced a strict upbringing, authoritarian parents or figures, yeah, I had those, mental, emotional, sexual, or physical abuse, or were conditioned as a child with disempowering ideologies such as religious, traditional, or social beliefs. All of that, all of it, God, all of it. Oh my God. You likely have an impaired solar plexus chakra, which means that your solar plexus chakra was probably intact as a child. And everything that you've gone through got that joker out of whack. These things are in you. But we've been raised to be taught that they were wrong. I think that the wrongness comes in anything that you do in excessiveness, especially if you believe that there is a higher power. Anything that you do more than you do the higher power. My baby taught me not to just be there to give the higher power. If God is everywhere, then God is not just up there. If God is everywhere, God encompasses me. She got me looking around the rooms but I do not just look up no more. Like when I say seriously, I do not just look up. People probably be thinking I be crazy because I get to talk about God, and where I generally was used to looking up, I will start looking everywhere. Because my baby said, God is not just in the sky, Miss Yvette. Okay, I got you, baby. I got you. I got you. But anything that you do in excess of the Most High, for the love of money, people will steal from their brother. For the love of money, people will rob their own mother. For the love of something. When you begin to love something more than you love God, because everybody always want to say money is the root of all evil. Money is an inanimate object, just like guns, y'all. Guns are inanimate. So why they keep hollering about gun control? Guns don't kill people. People put guns in their hands and they kill people. Money don't make you do anything that you do not do because you got money. Like Coach Stormy. Coach Stormy said, I wanted to be with the bad bitches. And that's what my daughter said. My daughter said, she said, everybody is saying high school mean girl. And I understand the concept of why they're saying high school mean girl. But my daughter said, she said, I'm not getting that, Mom. She said, I'm getting that she was the one who wanted to be popular. I said, baby, you hit that nail on the head. I said, because I went and watched videos. She said that out of her own mouth. I wanted to be with the bad bitches when I was in school. So I said, when she said that, I said, oh, so they ain't let you in. So you figured that, and I ain't even trying to be funny, because sometimes you flip that script after you come out of high school. Ask me how I know. Woo, we not even gonna talk about how I know that my script got flipped after I came out of high school. But anywho, if you were aspiring to be with those chicks and they wouldn't let you in their crew, Oh, you said I'm going to be one when I grow up. But you don't understand that you didn't grow up because you got stunted right there at high school where you wanted to be a bad bitch. And they didn't want you in their crew. So your psyche, your age leveled up, your bag leveled up, but your psyche stayed right there at high school. And you put on that persona of a bad bitch in your mind back then, and you carry that joke around this piece so long that you just wear that joker all the time. And you really think you out here healing people. Talking about low vibrational plays. I mean, I'm just gonna go back with my baby must the same podcast that I watch. You talking about a low vibrational plate while you were getting the food out of your fingernails. And I'm not fronting because I've been known to lick my fingers when I finish eating, but I'm not talking about nobody's plate as I'm doing it. You're licking the food from underneath your fingernails. You sitting there with your bathing suit on with your legs cocked open. And I ain't gonna front on that either, because I do it. My legs is not closed right now. I have always had a hard time putting on a dress because I don't particularly like to sit with my legs closed. But she's doing all this while she's telling this young lady that you have a low vibrational plate because you got too much on your plate. And then she tried to say there was more on the plate than what you saw. She had just eaten what was on the plate. Said she had 2 hamburgers and 2 hot dogs. Well, we only saw what was on the plate, but we also saw all of your actions. You're getting food from underneath your fingernails. You got your legs cocked wide open. You are not only licking your fingers while you're talking, but then you pointing at her plate with your licked fingers. I probably would have bent your finger backwards when you put it on my plate or near my plate. Oh, man. I'm learning how to say right things on Facebook, y'all, because Facebook will get you for offending the community. But all that I can think of is if you put your fingers near my food, I have an issue when people, like y'all know I've been going out on little dancing dates and everything. And sometimes people will come to your table, come stand by your table and will reach over your drink or, you know, like you don't know what kind of lint you got on your shirt that might fall down into my drink. And I be trying not to be, I try not to get evicted when I be going out because I just try not to. But I will still cut somebody a look. And I will tell somebody, can you excuse yourself? One night I went out there, the drunk woman was standing over top of me. She kept almost falling on me. I'm like, lady, can you please go find a seat of your own? I'm not understanding why you're in my space. She kept apologizing, but you won't get out my space. If you're going to apologize, move. So you're sitting over here talking about this woman's low vibrational plate while you were, and then the dude said, and you talking about what she got on her plate and you got sea roaches on yours. Now, don't get me wrong, because I love sea roaches. I can't eat them because I'm allergic. I can't eat sea roaches because I'm allergic, but I love sea roaches. But what I do say, because I don't eat pork by choice. I do everything in moderation except for shellfish because I don't want to die. But I didn't eat pork for years by choice. And I eat it sporadically. I can probably count on less than 3 fingers how many times I make. Well, that's a lie because I will eat bacon a little more often than I go out and buy any other pork meat. But I still I don't go to the grocery store every time I shop and buy bacon. I just have to have a taste for it. But I said all that to say people will talk about you eating pork and then go eat sea roaches. Shrimp are the bottom of the barrel. All that the pig is doing is eating his own shit. The shrimp is eating everybody's shit that falls to the bottom of that ocean. And then some, because whatever weeds and all that other stuff down there, the shrimp keep the bottom of that ocean clean. We can't even barely get to the bottom of the ocean, so there's no telling what's down there with the shrimp. The stuff that we drop in the ocean. I'm pretty sure some of us feces in the ocean. All that I'm saying is when you're busy sweeping around your own front door, you don't really have room to sweep around somebody else's. So why are you giving off low vibrational plate, baby? I could not find one video that made me balance my thought process on this woman. I feel about Coach Stormy the same way I feel about Mr. Let Go. I can't stand either of them. Mr. Let Go needs to sit down somewhere and stop trying to think that he's healing a woman and go heal himself. And Coach Stormy can stand to sit in that corner with him. So let's talk about T.I. now. Let's talk about Lovely T and was it Storm who both spoke about narcissism? No, it was Armand. No, it was Storm speaking about Armand. And Lovely T was speaking about T.I. and Lil Boosie. Now, y'all probably don't know those names, Lovely T, Storm, or Armand, unless you watch YouTube. So they're YouTubers. Lovely T is a big YouTuber. All of them are bigger YouTubers. Armand is well, Lovely T and Armand kind of walk in the celebrity world a little bit because they both of them deal with Cardi B. So both of them know Cardi B. I think they both were at her birthday party. Armand is in it with Jason Lee. Now, if you've ever watched Love and Hip Hop, you know Jason Lee. That's where I know Jason Lee from, Love and Hip Hop. Jason Lee was a hot mess on Love and Hip Hop. Jason Lee was a hot mess on Love and Hip Hop. I loved Cardi B on Love and Hip Hop, so I'm not being biased. I did love Cardi B on Love and Hip Hop. Jason Lee was a hot mess on Love and Hip Hop. But Armand Wiggins has been really ignoring the fact that Jason Lee, this is my opinion. Jason Lee saw that Armand is a bigger YouTuber because y'all can believe it or you don't have to believe it. YouTube is a big deal. YouTube is a big deal because I think it was Armand that said it's the second highest search tool beside Google. You know, Google, you put your computer or your phone on, you have to hook anything up. They ask you, do you want to hook it up through Google, Facebook, or something else? Maybe LinkedIn. But Google is always going to be, do you want to go through Google? It's always going to be there. And YouTube is the second search engine tool next to Google. I said that to say, you'll hear a lot of these YouTubers saying that Hollywood is no more. Really not. When have you seen a good movie? When have you heard really good music? Like it's really dwindling away. You're seeing celebrities come to these YouTubers to do interviews with these YouTubers at this point. Now, Tasha K was the first one that did it because I knew Tasha K before I came to YouTube. I knew Tasha K before I even started doing this. I saw Tasha K on Atlanta Housewives. She began a season. The season began, and I forget what season it was, but the season began with a news briefing, and I forgot what the news briefing was talking about because I almost didn't think it was the Housewives. I was like, what the heck is going on? Because the Housewives is supposed to be on, so why is this news on? And it was a black woman doing the news, and I'm like, what the heck? But then it started sounding like some gossip, and then I think she said something that let you know that this was the Housewives. And I'm like, oh, okay, but who is she? And you came to find out later that that was Tasha K. Tasha K is one of the biggest, I would say, black YouTubers in this sector because I did, and I can't remember that young lady's name. In another sector, I think she does makeup or something like that. She does have more followers than Tasha K. But in this sector, celebrity news and all that stuff like that, Tasha K is the biggest person on YouTube right now. Kevin Samuels and Tasha K were the biggest black YouTubers in this sector at that point. But yeah. So this is what I believe about Jason Lee. I believe that you saw what Armand was doing. I think that he and Cardi B had gotten into some stuff and they were not speaking. And Cardi B began to latch on to Armand. And it may have been to make Jason Lee jealous. It may have been. But you can't then tell this man that he can't be friends with somebody because you ain't friends with somebody. Who does that? Somebody I love dearly tried to do that with me, with somebody that's on my live right now. Love you, boo. They didn't want me to stay friends with somebody because that is so elementary. That is so elementary. How do you tell somebody that they can't be the friend of someone because you don't like them no more? And we adults. Who does that? And where they do that at? Somewhere over there in Kardashianville. In the land of totally. I'm going to need you to get to the center. Get to the self. Get to the solar plexus. Because the solar plexus is in the center just like the self. In the center of Jung's archetypes. I talked about the archetypes last week. Self is in the middle. I realized solar plexus was in the middle today. So this stuff don't be for no, this ain't for no reason. And I know the Most High will bring this thing more together for me because this is all still new to me, even though I've been doing it for some years. It's all still new, but it's coming together. But Jason Lee wanted to control how Armand moved, but then you were jealous of him at the same time because you see this dude move in big circles, and he might even got a little crush on the car. Armand handsome as he want to be. Armand handsome as he want to be. And it's something a little thugged out about. It's something. Armand is, he got a flamboyance and a thug with him at the same time that lets you know, like he not the one. Like you don't want to play with him that way. And it was a minute before he responded. Jason Lee was out here because, Jason Lee has a big platform. If you know him, I don't even follow him, but I know that he did. I watched him when he had Angela Stanton on, and Angela Stanton and her baby, they good. And y'all drug that woman from here to there by her baby, and her baby good. Like you can't, it is what it is. A parent has to be, especially a parent that come from the old school. They have to be able to get that guidance and open up that understanding the way they need to. And to hear her tell it, and I ain't heard JB come out and say anything different. She respects her son's choices, but she refers to her son as a son. She do. And at this point, they have come to a place in their relationship where they understand. She probably ain't turning her nose, or she probably turned her nose up every time he came around and he wasn't dressed like her son. Like stuff like that, like stuff you got to back up off of, but you can't make somebody's feelings just change according to how you feel like they should. So Jason Lee, blah, blah, blah. But everything that he did after he realized that Armand was not going to leave Cardi B alone was nitpicky, and he was doing it on his platform and trying to make it as though he wasn't coming for Armand. But then Armand came. When I say that dude lit into Jason Lee. Now he said that there was a party that they were going to at one point, and Jason Lee wanted everybody to stay behind and kind of like party with him. I forgot what he was trying to do, but everybody left. They was like, they didn't want to do that. They wanted to go to this party. And Jason Lee ain't wind up going. And so Armand was like, I can't imagine that he didn't just sit up in there and just like cry. But I thought about that. I'm like, if you begging people to stay and they don't want to stay, that sounds to me like you may be lonely. I've heard Jason Lee call himself talentless. If there was truth to that story, that you wanted the group to stay, that's almost like Coach Stormy. You wanted to be a part of something that did not want to be a part of you. That's a person that's trying to fit in. Everybody is not meant to fit in. But if you don't understand that you're not meant to fit in, so you keep trying to force yourself into spaces, that has got to be one of the most miserable places in life, and sad. and sad. Because if there was any truth to that story, he sat home alone and he had to sit with himself. And narcissists, a lot of times, they don't want to sit with themselves because they think everything that they do is right. They can dish it, they can't take it. Narcissists don't really analyze oneself, because once you analyze yourself, you are not going to think everything you do is right. You can't possibly think everything you do is right if you analyze yourself. But if you are not willing to analyze yourself and you think everything you do is right and your money is your security and everything like that, you're living a sad life. You're living a sad life, because when you get alone, you probably got every TV on in your house because you don't want to sit with your thoughts, because your thoughts are not good about yourself. If you wanted to be like somebody else, you don't want to be like yourself. That goes back to Coach Stormy wanting to be with the baby. But I believe in Jason Lee's case, you want to be more like Armand, because Armand is a drawer. He draws, he attracts. And you don't. You got to bully people. That's what Armand said. You're bullying people to come onto your platform. Not just him. Told him he shouldn't hang with Cardi B unless he's getting paid. So Storm called Jason Lee the narcissist. And I said that narcissism is unchecked persona. It's unchecked persona. He said narcissism is the pandemic no one wants to talk about. And I concur. Because there are so many narcissists walking around, and we were just in the ecclesiastical world, in the societal world, in the political world, narcissism is a thing, and it's a real thing. It is a real thing. But we don't want to talk about narcissism. We just like to sweep things under the rug. But if we continue to sweep things under the rug, we're going to sweep to the point where it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. It's going to be stuck to the carpet. You're going to have the hardest time getting that dirt from underneath that rug, because you're stuck to the bottom of the rug. Pieces that you can never get back will be stuck to the bottom of that rug if you keep sweeping under it. So Lovely T, she didn't call it narcissism, but she basically called it an overactive bravado. And she was talking about T.I. and Lil Boosie, because she's bringing this to the point of, and look here, I am not a Charleston White fan. I wasn't even watching YouTube until I started doing this. I am not a Charleston White fan. He liked to call women bashes and all that stuff, like hoes and all that stuff like that. I be wanting to be able to speak to men that, I just be wanting to have a conversation with them, with men like that sometimes. So I hold my own in any room. But one thing for sure and two things for certain. Charleston White was speaking to T.I. T.I.'s adult son, because he is not a boy no more. Because whenever anybody came to you and said, King out there cutting up in them streets, you said, King gonna wind up in jail. I can't tell that, but he grown. I told her he gonna wind up in jail. But when Charleston White makes a statement to you, and then your grown son comes back and makes a statement to him, and he addresses your adult son, then your son is a little boy. And why is you messing with little boys? And why is you messing with children? Your son threatened him. Your son threatened him. And I'll say, like Lovely T said, and like anybody who had a problem with what Charleston White said, the only problem that was ever had was the terminology. Like, I don't know what makes people think of some of the things that they think of like they do. But he was just like, I'm a Trayvon Martin. And I was like, yo, you couldn't use a different phrase than that. But I understood the concept of what he was saying. Because just think about it this way, y'all. Supposing these were not celebrities, but they were YouTubers. And King came and threatened Charleston White. Charleston White don't know that you're King. He don't know that T.I. is your father. You're just a young man who came on his page based off of something he's saying and felt the need to threaten him. T.I. saying you should have came and talked to his daddy. What if he ain't know who the boy daddy was? You think he was just supposed to look you up because your grown son was grown enough to come on his post? No, you don't want to check your baby. You ain't never wanted to check King. You ain't never wanted to check King. King won't being checked on the Family Hustle. King was not being checked on the Family Hustle. He was a spoiled brat on the Family Hustle. And then Boosie's son inserted himself. So he began to speak on both of them because, okay, Boosie, you out here all up in Dwayne Wade's house, but you buying prostitutes for your boy, for your little boy. And you rationalize why that's all right. You all up in Dwayne Wade's house, but you got your little boy with prostitutes. Y'all is all up on social medias telling people not to let Charleston White come on their platforms. If y'all let Charleston White come on y'all platforms, we not coming on y'all platforms. F y'all. F y'all. That part. F y'all. Who are y'all? Y'all don't want to check y'all son. I think Boosie's son might still be a minor. He might not be 18 yet. But King 18. Now y'all running around. Y'all supposed to be the bad boys. Y'all supposed to be the bad boys. Bad boys don't have to bully. Because bad boys command the room. But y'all not commanding no rooms. High value men. Y'all not commanding no rooms. High value man. Because somebody just, that young lady, I just followed that. I don't remember what her name is. But this high-valued man thing is so much connected to money that it is ridiculous. Money does not make your value high. Money just means that you can go out and purchase whatever it is that you want. One thing for sure and two things for certain, that will never be character. It will never be esteem or confidence. Nor will it be happiness. Can't buy none of them. Your money will never, your bag will never get you that. It's never going to get you that. So what you going to do? Because if you feel like that you just can control society because you got money, you're going to find out that that's not the way that things work. Because you ain't shut this dude down because he's still talking much of it. And that brings me to the last thing that I just want to say a little bit about. And then I'm going to let y'all go. Kanye. You can agree or you don't have to agree with White Lives Matter. You can agree or you don't have to agree with anything and everything that's going on with Kanye. But that also comes down to freedom of speech. That's why Lovely T defended Charleston White. That's what's making me defend Charleston White, because now I'm on a platform speaking. So if you try and tell me that I can't speak based off of nonsense, come on. And that's basically what's going on with Kanye. Because most of the time you hear when they look at Nick Cannon buckled down when Nick Cannon talked about them Jewish folks. And they came out. Nick Cannon buckled down. Kanye West has not buckled down. This is what I said. He lost his deal with Balenciaga. I didn't even know that he was the face of Balenciaga. I didn't know that until watching Armand, because this Jason Lee thing went into with Kanye as well. Jason Lee was supposed to be repping Kanye in some way, shape, or form. You show up to Kanye's event, who's the face of Balenciaga and all Prada. That's when I found out he was the face of Balenciaga. I found out Balenciaga dropped him prior to finding out that he was the face. I didn't know he was the face. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I thought. But I said that to say he ain't care because he still ain't go back and apologize. He's a part of that 1%. And when you're a part, Nick Cannon is not a part of that 1%. When you're a part of that 1%, you're less likely to have to apologize for the things that come out your mouth. But that's what freedom of speech is about. And the social medias is wanting to take it away. And the people with the change that don't have no backbone or no character, they okay with it being taken away too. Because you have people that have done much business with Kanye who are now just totally against him. They talk like Puffy and Jay-Z have come out to speak negatively against Kanye West. And I was like, yo, wow. Yo and wow. But money, for the love of money, people will give their own mother. If you trying to keep your bag, ain't nothing gonna come between you and your bag. And Kanye said it. Kanye said that too. Ain't nothing gonna come between him and his bag. But I think that there is even a certain sense of balance there with that. That's just my opinion. Because I see him trying to at least fight for his children. And I'll say this. They ain't want to hear Jesus Smalls on the radio. He said it. Take away from my spins, which probably take away from my ends, and hope to take away from my sins. So he might have lost some bag when Jesus Smalls came out too. I'm just saying, y'all. Okay. Eyes is done for the night, y'all. I thank y'all for chilling with me for a minute. This persona is serious. I think I'm done with persona though. Last week I spoke about Anima, which is where this thing started, and it's a part of Carl Jung's archetype. Anima was the first thing that I got dealing with Carl Jung, and that was years and years ago, playing my word game. Y'all, I be playing Wordscapes. And when I saw that name, when I saw Anima, all I thought was anime. Because it looks like anime when you spell it something like anime. But then I'm like, oh, I don't know. That don't really look like anime. So let me go look it up. And when I looked it up, it wasn't anime. So next week, probably more than likely, I'll be starting to speak on Anima because I thought that I was supposed to start there, but I really didn't start there. I just basically started with the shadow and have come down to, the persona. But yes, so next week, and I'm pretty sure that the Most High is going to bring it together because I spoke about it last week, and then I saw Anima on my game today. I have not seen Anima on my game in years. Now, when I say I play this game, the words are repetitive at this point. So I should have seen Anima a million times. I'm on like level 13,000 or something like that. I like words, y'all. And even though the words are repetitive at this point, when I'm playing my word game, there's solace in that for me. I'm so weird. I'm good weird, but I'm weird. There's solace in my word game, so I play it and it helps my mind to be mellowed out. But even though they have been repetitive, I haven't seen Anima in a few years. So for me to see Anima twice in the last 24 hours in playing this game, I said, okay, Lord, you ready for me to get into Anima? So yes, when we come back next week, we're gonna be hollering about Anima. We're gonna start talking about Anima. I don't know how long that the Most High is gonna have me on Anima, but we're gonna talk about it. I said next week, but I'm really supposed to be going live multiple times a week. So we may be talking about Anima prior to next week. We may be talking about Anima towards the end of this week. Me and the Most High still working out the details on these other ones, but I know from pre-pandemic that I'm supposed to be going live more than once a week. And this whole thing has been, I just told somebody last night, regardless of what y'all may think, none of this is easy because it's not something that I've ever done. I've always held to the fact that I am not computer savvy. My Facebook is leaning right now like it looks like I'm supposed to be like this and it'll be straight, but it is what it is. That could have something to do with my bootleg tripod that I broke as soon as I got it. I'm gonna get me another one. I'm gonna have me a better area for my laptop, so I don't be threatening and fearing breaking my laptop in the process of a live. Yes, it's all, like I said, it has come together because I did not have that tripod in the beginning. When I started these lives, I was holding my phone. I could not hold a mic in my hand because I was holding a phone. I could not go live from two areas because I didn't have anything to go live on two platforms. I didn't have anything to go live on two platforms with. So I'm watching the Most High move. I am watching the Most High move. Not even that. I am watching what my Facebook page is doing. I just got accepted. Well, I got an offer to be a part of the STARS program, but I was uploading a video at that point. And the video must have created an error message when I tried to accept the STARS program. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get back to it. But I've also been offered to have the ads in my videos. That's another way to create income as well. So I am blessed and highly favored. The Most High is already moving. My YouTube is continuing to grow. I state that I'm always going to shout out YouTube because it is the very hardest platform to grow. It is I watch followers on every one of my platforms on a regular basis. Not YouTube. Even TikTok. What I realized about TikTok is I had my page private in the beginning. Once I opened up my page, my TikTok started growing regularly. YouTube ain't no joke. But I am thankful. I'm always going to be thankful for those of y'all that come and sit and chill a split for me. I ain't to the point I was tripping off of one of my people in my group who was talking like how content creators are when they go live. And I'll be watching my content creators, but they already know that they have people coming into the building. They larger creators. So they sitting there like, yeah, I'm going to wait for a few more people to come in. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But I will be. And I am. My thing is always going to be being interactive with my platform, with my followers and everything like that. I'll be watching things that certain podcasters do to make sure that they're able to like be in contact with their platform. It's not like talk shows where y'all was in the audience and you can meet, you know what I'm saying? It's different. So you have to find ways to be interactive with your community. And that's my goal. I ain't doing this to just I celebrated making 100 followers, subscribers on YouTube. I celebrated that. That was exciting to me that 100 people wanted to come watch me. Like, it was exciting to me. And I said that I was going to celebrate every 100. I want to celebrate. I don't just want to celebrate YouTube. I want to find a way to, whatever the Most High is doing here, it's about my people too. Because this is customer service in and of itself. It really is. It's customer service still. And I've always been in customer service. And so if I'm that big on customer service in my workplace, I want to be, on the job, I want to be that big on customer service in my work. This is my work. That is my job. This is my work and that is my job. And my work has to mean more to me than my job. That's what the Most High has said to me. So y'all, I thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. I'm getting ready to get off this joker because I got to be to work early. I love y'all. And Sylvie is out. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of y'all night.